Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Hometown Hero Hour. I am your host, Captain Spartacus.
I'm Dancor.
Delta G, your overlord in the sky.
And tonight's overarching umbrella topic is Star Wars The Last Jedi. We're going to get into some fun topics related to that, although I'll give it to you right now, spoiler, we will be doing spoiler talk. I mean, if you
haven't seen it by now, then
you deserve to get spoiled.
It's probably your fault.
So that'll be really fun. We're going to also be talking about a lot of Star Wars related things that tie into The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about some parallels between the trilogies. We'll be talking about how The Last Jedi is similar and different from the published novels that are now referred to as legends.
And some things that we like, some things that maybe we didn't like so much, and where we think things might be headed from here.
All right, so once again, thanks for joining us. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. If you want to see the rest of the episodes, make sure that you subscribe. Let's get started. Game on.
Let's do this. All right, let's get things kicked off with some of the things that we liked about Star Wars.
Yeah.
All right, so first off, more Star Wars.
Which is always good.
Always a good thing, right?
More Star Wars is always better.
I mean, look, even if they're not, the holy trilogy that we had in the very beginning, we still have more Star Wars. We get to see more of that universe, and that's always a good thing.
I mean, and the Clone Wars was always a little hit and miss. Not every single episode was gold, but it was more Star Wars. And so I like that. And this was kind of the same.
Exactly.
Same thing.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things I really loved about this was Kylo Ren's and Rey's Force connection scenes.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't know if they were being connected because they actually were brother and sister somehow or something. I mean, I don't want them to do that in another trilogy, but then that would just echo more of the parallels that I guess we'll get into in a second. But I didn't know why they had this connection, but it was interesting. It was definitely pretty cool.
But what I thought was super interesting about it is that they actually flew in the actors for both locations for those scenes. So whenever you had Kylo on screen, you actually had Rey just off screen doing the exact same lines and everything to keep everything authentic.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of nice to see that they took the time to try to make everything feel fluid and mesh, because it's some of the best off-screen to off-screen acting I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was cool. I definitely liked that. One of the things that I really liked was Kylo fighting Snoke's guards. Kylo and Rey when they fought Snoke's guards. That was super cool.
When the guy takes the lightsaber stick, whatever those things were, and breaks it in half and then starts going with both of the knives.
And that was cool because that showcased a lot of lightsaber-esque weapons that we haven't seen before. We've seen the lightsaber and the double-bladed from Darth Maul, but it's like this could be adapted to anything. And you saw some of that. That was really sweet.
And before, in Darth Sidious's Palpatine era, they used to just carry the lightsaber pikes.
Right.
Just the lightsaber and then this big old long staff part.
But we never saw them used.
Right. They were never used. You just knew about them reading the books or other things like that. So it was really cool to see kind of what these elite guards were about, and why do these guys have the right to sit around here and try to protect
and that kind of echoed, I mean, the feeling that I got watching that scene was really similar to when Darth Maul did his second blade for the first time, or even the Anakin Obi-Wan fight in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it was that kind of really heightened, exciting fight. Oh man, it was cool. I actually wish that it was longer because it was freaking sweet. One thing that bugs me just with movies in general is all of the cuts and all the edits that they do. And I actually saw a video online. It was an interview with Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, just talking to them about the process of shooting and how they prepare. And I didn't know it at the time, but it kind of spoiled that fight. In the video, it showed Adam and Daisy fighting 6 people with their lightsabers, and these guys had all these different weapons. And at the time I was like, whoa, that's freaking sweet. And then when they were in the throne room, I was like, no, I know what's gonna happen.
Terrible.
But it was cool to see them actually do a big choreographed fight with 5 guys, and I wanted to see some of that uncut because it was a little hard to keep track of.
Yeah, I think that they
where
kind
things
of
were happening.
Redeemed themselves a little bit in the fighting prowess and things from The Force Awakens.
Right, because you didn't see Daisy really fight at all, and you just saw Adam with these big heavy looking swings.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that's not very viable.
Very lack of finesse.
Yeah.
Very.
How can you
these
fight
guys don't
like
know
that?
what they're
He's
doing
too,
at all.
He's way too slow. But no, and
Absolutely.
he freaking kicked butt, and it was sweet. It was
No, it
super
was great.
sweet.
No, absolutely. Another thing that I liked is that they started showing more force power than we've seen in the movies, at least.
Yeah.
So we've seen a little bit more in, like the Clone Wars and things like that. But here we actually get to see things spanning galaxies. You have
Right.
Snoke being able to connect to people across galaxies. You have Luke coming in and doing his thing, spanning galaxies wide.
Right.
So the power level has been stepped up. Not to mention Rey, stopping everything all at once and seeing all of these
Like all the rocks. Yeah.
Right,
that was
like
cool.
before, one rock was a big deal.
Right.
And now it's an army of rocks that's a big deal, right?
Yeah. With that, though, with like the expansion of force powers, you then retroactively think that, oh, well, why didn't they use that here? Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
When you get that force projection like Luke did, and he could physically create things and do stuff, like, well, why? I mean, like, nobody ever did this ever before. This could get you out of so many situations, but you have to kind of not think of it that way.
Yeah.
And the way that I kind of make myself feel better is that Qui-Gon Jinn was the first Jedi to pass down how to become, like the process to become a Force ghost.
Now we're talking
Right?
about Force Ghosts. Yeah, right.
So before that, it was just if you figured it out.
Mhm.
Right? If you learned that power. So maybe this force projection is kind of the same thing.
Well, it's kind of funny because in the books, force projection comes from a completely different place.
Oh, see,
Right?
I don't know that.
It's actually, part of those books is about some of the Jedi. Kylo Ren's kind of doppelganger from there named Jason. Him going out and learning from these other places and learning, how these other species deal with the Force and things kind of bring these powers about. So, yeah, here it's kind of interesting having a guy that's been in exile for 30 years. Oh, it turns out he can influence everything in the galaxy.
Well, yeah, he's like spent so much time meditating in the Force, he's picked up new powers, and like in the novels, all these other races, and species have learned to communicate with the Force differently.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to communicate that, then everyone could have those powers, right? And so I think that's how I make myself feel better about the growing Force powers.
So I think it's kind of interesting with Yoda being brought back, and it brings up a few questions. Like, one, how long can you be a Force ghost?
Yeah, right. 30 years
and
at least,
counting,
right? Yeah.
Right?
And if nothing else, he seemed stronger because he physically hit Luke with his cane or whatever, and he called down the elements. Oh my gosh.
Boom!
I can say, though,
burning.
my shock and just like, oh my gosh moment of seeing Yoda was almost completely dashed by how terrible it looked.
Yeah.
It looked really bad.
I'd like to say that they brought back Puppet Yoda, and that's why he looked like that.
I actually watched a
no.
video on that, and it was Puppet Yoda. It was like it was like made by a mold of the original. Like, it was one of the original molds that they made Yoda with, but it didn't look like Empire Strikes Back Yoda.
No.
It looked like Yoda got left out in the sun. You know what I mean? He was like, when he first came on, and I was like, it's Yoda! And then I was like, is it Yoda?
It's kind of, when you go away and you come back and you get to meet your Aunt Nana or something after like 10 years, and they just become a shriveled old fruit.
What is going on?
Missing their teeth. I'm like, come and give Daddy a kiss. And you're like, no, I don't know what this is, but this is not what I remember.
It wasn't even that he looked older. It's just that he looked like some really bad CGI. Like, really bad CGI. And in the video that I watched, they suspected, or they said that it was a mix of the puppet and the CGI. Because the way that Rian Johnson shot the video, or shot the movie, the cameras didn't do well in low light. So you have this dark green puppet in low light, and they had to kind of bump it up, you know what I mean? Like, they had to kind of brighten it up a little bit or something, but whatever it was not good.
Do not like.
Yeah. But anyway, Force Ghost, Yoda.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's kind of
Really
interesting.
cool.
Another thing that I kind of liked was that I thought was kind of cool from a continuity perspective was that they had mentioned back in Rogue One when they're at the base and they're able to start looking at the files that they have in this giant library, essentially.
Yes.
And they actually specifically mentioned in that hyperspace tracking. Right? It's
Did
one
they?
line in it says she's just listing off all these things that they've been researching and that they're figuring out how to do. And one of those lines says hyperspace tracking.
What? That's
and so you're like,
cool.
okay, so
Okay.
that was supposed to be what, like right at A New Hope,
Right.
You know, like I mean, right then is where everything starts. So it's taken 30 years of development from there before you kind of get that payoff of okay, they've been able to do it, and they're even able to do it in a really, really like remote. Limited fashion. It's not we can track anybody with this stuff, so they gave it some limitations.
Right.
Was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was an interesting plot hole that would have been a plot hole without patching it preemptively.
Yeah, I know because when I watched the movie, I've only seen it once, but when I saw it, I didn't catch the reference back to Rogue One. I just heard they can track us through hyperspace now, and I thought, oh, that's convenient, right? They can track you because the screenwriters say they can track you. But if they set it up in, did I say Rogue One? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
No.
If they set it up like that in Rogue One, then then I'm a lot better with that.
So. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see the idea of writers knowing that something's going to be a problem and setting it up beforehand.
Yeah.
But
it
could also have been that they were watching the movie and said, "Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
let's use that."
Right. One of the last things I want to talk about under the category of things that we liked are all of the memes that have come out of Star Wars. The internet does this a lot now where they are just brutal. any little whatever, they will just rip out and immortalize on the internet forever, right? And one of those things is the first thing that comes to mind is the blue milk. Like the origin of blue milk memes.
Yeah. Star Wars, the origin of colored milk.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, it's terrible.
And there's those big that right there. Oh my gosh, those like big heavy looking udders, and the milk came out with such force. You gotta think that those creatures are supremely grateful for Luke being there on that island, right?
That had to have hurt so bad. But then, I mean, Luke is sitting there drinking it with such gusto.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
he is really enjoying that milk. Just like, I think part of it was that he was trying to gross out Rey. I really
definitely.
do. Like he's just like, look at this disgusting thing I'm doing.
I'm a creepy
I like it
old
so
man.
much.
Yeah. But holy cow. The other one that I remember that I really, really like is Wide Kylo.
Oh, Wide Kylo is hilarious.
Or Ben Swolo.
I hadn't heard.
He's just, I can't even like imitate it.
Oh no, but he's just
I
like,
can't do
I'm
it.
huge.
But that bear does a really good
the bear
job.
is doing a great job in that. Look at that.
And it was like the low light.
I love it.
It was the low light with his dark hair and his like buffness that made his head look tiny and his body looked huge.
Is huge, right?
And it just cracks me up.
I love
So
this
now-
picture because the lightsaber is also like extra thick.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man. And it's not Adam Driver's fault. I thought he was great.
He actually did a really good job. It
But
was just the lighting. But you take any little thing
That's
now
what I'm saying.
and it just
any little flaw, any little whatever, the internet will just rip it out and just tear it to pieces. So I love it. So now we want to talk about some stuff that we weren't so in love with. Yeah. And the point of our episode today is not to tear apart the Star Wars video, which you very much could do, because
some people have. They're brutal online.
And I don't disagree with a lot of the things that they say. Mm-hmm. But also because it's Star Wars, I want to love it. I think the biggest difference between Episode 7 and Episode 8 was that I went into 7 just going to watch a Star Wars movie.
Right.
And initially, I freaking hated it. Mm-hmm. I hated it. But then I went into 8 knowing that I had hated 7, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to look for things to like about this movie.
Okay.
But with that being said, there was some stuff that didn't match up for me. It just didn't really click. Star Wars or not.
So for me, the first thing that I thought was really weird about The Last Jedi was that it felt like in The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams was building towards something.
Yes.
Right? We have all these questions and things that we want to find out. Things about Rey hinting at some sort of connection.
Right.
And so you have all of these things that they've kind of put out there as feelers and whatnot. And then you get to the second movie, different director, feels like he wants to tell a completely different story.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, you know what? We're going to take a hard left. We're going to completely dash everything that was gone before. We're not going to do this story that we're putting out here. We're going to do something else.
Yeah, and so for me, episode 7 felt, it was pretty obvious it was a parallel of episode 4 and even of episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
A complete
For sure.
parallel. So with good reason, I was expecting episode 8 to kind of parallel The Empire Strikes Back. And in a lot of ways, it did. But in a lot of ways, it also paralleled Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So it was like they took 5 and 6 and smushed them all together. And I have absolutely no idea where they're going to go with for 9.
No,
I have no
completely
idea.
agree. Yeah, because for me, this felt like an Act 3 movie without the Act 3 ending.
Like resolution.
Yeah, there was no
sure.
resolution. So you're right at that cusp, like you said, mixing Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi together. So what's this last thing going to be?
I couldn't even speculate.
Because
really
the big bad
couldn't.
evil guy is dead.
Which
you now
was
have
weird.
That was really. I
was
have a
weird.
problem with that. That was.
And everyone's like, oh, he was so powerful. He was so this and this. We didn't see it.
No.
So I don't believe it.
There was no build up. There was no payoff. Sure, maybe he wasn't Darth Plagueis, but
No, but yeah,
he should have been a powerful Sith Lord, and for him to just be able to turn on a lightsaber and kill him, it was very anticlimactic.
He had the attitude of this big, powerful ruler, and he shot Force lightning and whatever, but that was all.
In the end, he was just a giant
whatever
weenie guy
I
that
know.
it's one of those you go up, you go fight the big bad evil guy, but the DM hasn't prepared correctly,
Right.
And so you just raffle stomp through that encounter, and you're just like,
Yeah.
well, what happened?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened here, just in cinematic form.
I think that's a good way to put it. Kylo raffle stomped
Just
Snoke.
no, really. Oh, he's a mage caster. Okay, we're gonna start off by silencing.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
up, grapple, put him on the ground. He can't move now. What you gonna do? Just raffle stomp. Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so here's another thing that kind of bugged me about it is that you have Poe, who is kind of the new Han Solo 2.0,
Sure.
right? Hotshot
Yeah.
pilot, kind of, single, and, just kind of that new girl love interest kind of thing where
Yeah.
he doesn't play by the rules, he's a bad boy.
That was abundantly clear.
Right?
Like they hit us over the head with
So
that.
the thing that kind of bugged me about it is that you have him essentially making a decision really early on about doing the bombing run and says,
Yes.
no, really, we're going to push in, we're going to take this out, and it's a catastrophic failure, right? They get the thing done, but yet all these people die. And then he gets ripped on for making this bad choice,
Right.
This thing. So you already see, kind of one of the themes in The Last Jedi was, okay, our heroes aren't always right. Our heroes don't always play by the rules or set up expectations. They can fail
Yeah.
you, which I have my own feelings about that kind of a message. But not only do you have that, but then you have him, 15, 20 minutes later, he ends up hatching this idea to go and sabotage all of the ships that are following them.
Right.
And in order for that, he has to go to this casino place and be able to find this hacker. And also, they kind of call them code breakers instead of slicers. That kind of bugs me a little
Yeah,
bit.
man,
Because
it's
we have a
always
term
been
for
slicers,
this.
yeah.
We have a term for this. Anyway, so he does that, and that is also a catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
Like, not only does he screw it up once, he doesn't even get to redeem himself and have a good moment. He just kind of screws up over and over again.
Yeah.
So okay, so why is this guy a hero? Why is he someone that we should even look up to if he's going to screw it up all the time?
And they kind of had that in The Force Awakens that the movie opened with him, and he was this big hotshot. He was so great, and then later we see him flying around just taking out TIE fighters like it's nothing. You're like, okay, well, this guy's pretty sweet.
Right.
That's all we know about him, though. Just because you make him a hero of the Resistance doesn't mean we automatically love him
Right.
or know why he's a hero. And I don't want to dwell on this topic, but what you said about how, sometimes the plans don't work out and the heroes mess up, right? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't really want to see that. The hero. No, I mean,
Right.
the heroes are heroes because they're larger than life.
Right.
They do things that ordinary people can't do, and they pull it off, and that's why it's so fantastic and it's so wonderful. Star Wars already has enough events of they do things and it doesn't work out.
Right.
I don't need any more of that.
Well, and with that, usually a story is told with something like that, with the, if you're going to screw up, don't give up, keep trying, and you can make a success out of a failure. Like, that's
Sure.
a very common
That I can
message
get behind.
to get behind people.
Yeah.
Do we get that here? No.
No.
It's, you know what, you're a complete cock-up, and congratulations, you just screwed everything.
Over to hard.
You're just okay. So I really, really want to see them redeem Poe. He's got to do some awesome stuff in 3, to make to kind of redeem. What's going
kind
on
of
here.
justify to me, the viewer, why he's a hero of the Resistance.
Right.
Otherwise, he's just some pilot guy.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Here's another issue that I've got. So you have the Empire. They have plenty of fuel.
Oh,
More than sufficient amounts of fuel. They're able to track these guys through hyperspace. And they get to them, and then they just follow them and ride them out. Instead of moving to the sides with a couple of their ships, which they have, hyperspace jumping in front of the rebellion, cutting them off, which they can do. They have the fuel for it. The rebels don't. And then just blow them all up.
Yeah, why? Because the Resistance is obviously going at a speed that they can maintain, like outrunning this big main ship for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they have tons of TIE fighters even.
Yeah.
Could they just fly up and blow it up? Probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not a Star Wars physicist, but I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
that what you're saying is correct. They
Yeah,
could've
it's just
think
one
you're
of those.
I think you're thinking of the bombers, not the fighters, but
what.
to blow up the ships, they'd have to use the bombers, right?
Well, but
maybe in tandem,
Right.
but
No, sorry, go ahead.
but no, no, you're fine. But,
But just in general,
they
it's
have
one of
ships.
those, like, the Empire, the First Order here, has the resources that they need to end this.
they can burn all the fuel they want, and they squash it, and it's over.
They arbitrarily decide not to.
Yeah.
And just run the thing out, which just doesn't make any sort of military sense at all. You just wouldn't do that.
Well, and that's the thing that gets me is not just in The Last Jedi, but in any movie when stuff happens and it's just like, oh, because that's the way the screenwriters dictated it. That's because, that's because that's the way it's written. That's what the screenwriters say. It's just for plot convenience. I don't appreciate that. Like, as an audience member, I'm smarter than that. Obviously, we pick up on these things and I'm
Right.
like, well, hold on a minute. Right?
And playing into that, okay, so I promise this will be like my last gripe. But with all of that, the rebellion knows that the ship is tracked. They know that they are being tracked by the lead ship. What
Right.
do? Do they move everybody and all of the resources into the other ships that can't be tracked and take off in light speed, like any sane, rational person would do?
No, they didn't do
No, they run out the clock as long as they can. That bugs me.
So there you go. There were ways around it that.
Are you saying that they were only tracking the lead ship? I think they were tracking all the ships.
No, they were only tracking that lead ship.
Oh.
They could
That's
only
what they
do it
said
with
in the
one.
movie, right? I mean, I know that it was only Snoke's ship that was tracking them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you're right that they said it was only tracking.
Look, and
lead
if I'm
ship or
wrong, put
something?
it in the comments.
Yeah,
And please
I'm not-
explain. I would be more than happy to be
I-
wrong at this.
I'm not above
But
being wrong. By
Yeah,
the way.
no, exactly.
If you watch our videos for any amount of time, you'll know I am often wrong.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
But at my current level of understanding, this is one of those things that just bugs me. The actions that were taken just kind of didn't jive with what a sane, normal person
Yeah,
would do
I mean,
in this regard.
I almost hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because then that means that I get to like this movie more, and I get to like Star Wars even more. So
Right. Yeah, if it can be one of those things where, all right, I'm wrong, these guys made the best decision possible, great.
cool.
But if not, then I can still be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
All right, Okay, that's enough. I'm done.
Okay. I have one or two more things that I just wanted to cover really, really quickly.
Sure.
And the first thing was that Luke was really underutilized in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and he himself said it. I mean, before the movie even came out, he made some really heavy hints that sounded like jokes. And people said like, "So what's Luke doing in this movie?" And he would jokingly say, "Well, it's my part in this movie is at least twice as big as it was in the last one." And everyone's like, "Ah!" Ha, ha.
He has lines. So that's already a major difference from episode 7.
He has a much bigger part in Force Awakens than I do. But don't worry, in The Last Jedi, I promise you, my part will be twice as big.
It's so funny
Yeah,
because
but
it's
that was
just
about
an ironic thing, right? No, but that was just about it. He was just a grumpy hermit. And I wanted him. There were so many things I wanted. So when I heard that Luke had gone away for 30 years, I completely just disagreed with that vehemently. Mm-hmm. Because, and again, Mark Hamill himself said that if a Jedi messes up, he would do everything in his power to fix it.
Right.
And let's say Luke couldn't fix it. So he goes away for a little while, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. He gets his head right. He comes back. Because a Jedi is hopeful and strong and resilient, and that's not the Luke Skywalker that we saw.
What's the biggest difference from when we last saw Luke in the end of Return of the Jedi to when we meet him now in The Last Jedi?
That's the mystery of the ages. Since it's no longer my story and there's a new protagonist, I had to try and fill in that for myself. It's not important to the story, but it is for the actor to try and figure out, who is this guy? How did the most optimistic, hopeful character in the galaxy turn into this hermit who says it's time for the Jedi to end? I read that and I said, what? I mean, that's not what a Jedi does. I mean, a Jedi is optimistic. A Jedi has tenacity. He never gives up. He doesn't secrete himself on an island. But you'll see. I mean, the wait for 8 is nearly over.
He was defeated, essentially, when we come to him.
Yeah, mentally, he had severed his own connection with the Force. Mm-hmm. He just, I mean, again, Mark Hamill himself said, I have to think of this as not my Luke Skywalker anymore.
Right.
It's Jake Skywalker. It's another character. And I know that he's since come out and said, I shouldn't have said those things in public. And no, Disney isn't making me apologize. I get that. That's just because he's a classy dude.
Well, and it's professional. Right?
Yeah, he doesn't want to trash his own project, and that's not what I was getting at all. If anything, it made me feel better to hear the actor say, this wasn't really my favorite thing.
Right.
He did also say, you have to understand, though, that it's a movie.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be what you want it to be. And that all made me feel really, really good. I mean, even if he really didn't like how they played Luke and he said that wouldn't make me dislike Star Wars anymore.
Right.
I would say, well, hey man, that's awesome that he's recognizing that like that this isn't the character he.
Yeah, it's kind of cool
that
as the actor he kind of sees that division, because we see it too, especially if you're a person like myself that's familiar with the extended universe and all the legacy novels, and you see what that Luke does.
Holy cow!
And you see what he builds and what he restores.
Incredible.
And he just does all these cool things in that, and then you see this guy,
and they did.
And you're like,
none
okay,
of
so
it.
you know what his potential was,
right?
Because you have it in the extended universe,
and it was.
And
canon.
then you see him being a hobo on a planet. And just being an angry person.
They just threw
it all away.
That's right, drinking the milk.
The milk. Oh, it's just so.
Yeah, it was hard for me to watch them just throw Luke's potential in the garbage.
Yeah. Well, because he really is kind of that light and that hope for the universe. Kind of at the end of Return of a Jedi, right? You're saying, oh, okay, good can now come back.
Exactly.
From the brink of evil. The kind of bringing that. Anakin brought the balance, and then now he's like, okay. Now everything's kind of come to this. We can start growing good again. And now in this, your hero has failed. He has fallen. And now who do you look up to? Because all of your heroes are now destroyed and dead. And, kind of...
And along those same lines, not only was it Luke that they really underutilized, but all of the old leaders of the rebellion, like Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, what happened with Akbar?
When Leia got sucked out, they all got sucked out, and Admiral Akbar
Just
dead.
gone.
He's just dead.
And we couldn't even get one more "It's a Trap."
Right?
It's a trap. Like, we need something from this guy.
Yeah, but the what's her name that took over after Leia? That took over after Leia
what's
went
her
out.
name?
Leah
Yeah, I know
Dunham.
who you're talking
Leah
about.
Dunham's character.
Yeah,
Why even have her? I mean, I get that there's just like 4 women in the entire galaxy, and they're adding one more, and that's great. No, that's awesome, right? But why not have Admiral Akbar then step up? And now he's the leader of the rebellion because Leia's in a coma, and he's the one that does the hyperspace cut through the capital ship. Oh my gosh, I would have cheered and written songs to his name.
Yeah,
You know what
because
I mean?
it's like, okay,
Would have
now
been so much
you're
more
taking
fulfilling.
a hero and giving him a hero's offing, right?
Instead of this just character that made so much friction with me internally, you introduce them and then you kill them, and I felt nothing.
Yeah, you introduce them, you hate them a little bit because of you're supposed to like Poe. So you've kind of got that division, and then they're like, "Oh no, she was really likable the whole time," and I'm like, "She really wasn't."
No,
not
you
so
can't
much.
just force it on me.
But that scene,
Cinematically, I went,
was just
"Oh my gosh,
so good.
It was so cool. The sound went out. It was just all black and white,
And that just
right?
doesn't happen very often now, where you cut all the sound
right
in a show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it made
Oh,
for a really
man.
dramatic moment.
It was
I thought
cool.
It was great.
It was really, really cool. So that's it for things that I didn't like, for things that we didn't like, things that we liked. I still have a couple of questions. We might be running long, so we might just have to go through these.
Okay.
If you know the answer to any of these questions, let us know down below or hit us up on social media.
Absolutely.
I'll put it here.
Right there, like this.
This is mine. So there you go. So hit us up on social media or down in the comments if you know the answer to some of these questions. The first one is, why did Luke have the now broken blue lightsaber to fight Kylo with
Oh yeah, that was weird,
instead of his own green one?
His green one, right?
That was so obvious to me. It took me out of what that scene was building to. The other one was, how or why did the Force save Leia?
This one I might have a little bit too.
Okay.
Because we know that she was Force sensitive
Yes.
from the extended universe, and they're kind of keeping some of that, right? So a lot of the explanations have kind of been Force powers will usually manifest themselves in someone like at the moment of death to try to save themselves. But what's odd about this part is that it was so dramatic that it was
Yeah.
all of a sudden I can fly. So that part was a little weird on
Yeah.
that one.
And then another one is, if Snoke isn't a Sith, he's obviously a dark side user or a dark side enthusiast.
Yeah.
You can see because he has blue eyes. He doesn't ever have the Sith eyes. So then how is he so knowledgeable to train Kylo? Because he's not a Sith master.
Yeah, perfect point.
He
Yeah,
just
who is
was-
this guy?
he
We
just
never
was an
even got to
enthusiast,
find out
right?
who he
Yeah.
was or why he mattered.
And then the last one I have is something we've kind of already covered, is where could they possibly go in Episode 9? Which is a positive and negative in a way. Like, I have no idea what the lead up is going to be, but that's also great because I have no idea what they're going to do. So it's all going to be a surprise.
Now, at the same time, J.J. Abrams is coming back. He's
Yeah.
taking the reins again.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be like we went on this path and then we took this hard
We
left turn
deviated,
because of this
yeah.
other director, and now he's going to bring it back to something awesome. No idea.
And if you're going to do a set of movies, this is just kind of my thoughts as like a whole. If you're going to do a set of movies, keep the same director.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I also know that Harry Potter changed directors a lot.
a few times. Yeah.
And you can feel it.
Yeah.
You really know what director was with which films. And I love those films, but you can really tell with the different directing styles. And I think just for like a continuity's sake.
Yeah, for
a
telling a
cohesive
story
piece.
a certain way to kind of keep that
Just keep
cohesion.
the same
exactly.
director.
Just keep
Yeah.
the same directors.
So,
Make it a contract to do a whole block of them.
right, because who would say no to directing 3 Star Wars movies?
Right?
I would say yes, and I would be terrible. So that's it for things that we liked.
So I think the problem is if they do the contract with the director, then if he sucks, then they can't kick him out. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully you would pick a director that you would know his style and his stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's also interesting that J.J. Abrams directed the new Star Trek, and now he's doing Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Is that some kind of like heresy? I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
I'm also okay with it, but anyway, so that's it for our Star Wars topics tonight. Next, we're gonna get into playing some Lego Star Wars for a little bit.
Of course, because we're talking about Last Jedi.
We want to keep with the theme. Last week we did our top games of 2017, and we played some Cuphead, which was amazing. It was so fun.
It was fun.
And so now this week, keeping with the theme of Star Wars, we are going to be playing some Lego Star Wars. So let's get right into it.
Perfect.
Hey guys, we're back. We got Lego Star Wars here. We're gonna play as promised. We got Captain Spartacus and Delta Chu playing, and then Dan Core will be watching this time
With
since,
commentary.
Last time he wiped the floor with us, so we're gonna.
He's got to sit out this time.
All right, let's go for it.
Do you have a save?
I don't,
Okay.
so this won't get saved, but whatever.
Oh.
What you gonna do? We're just gonna start off with the first level. I think I'm
Here we go.
Qui-Gon.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm Obi-Wan. Hey.
Let's just wreak some havoc. This was my favorite part.
Let's see.
Was just like destroying the cantina and killing everyone. So let's see if we can find someone. Oh,
This is what we're going to have
Here.
for the next
Oh, yeah.
full segment.
Here we go.
here we go. Oh, there's someone.
Delta, no! You're a Jedi!
Take his life. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Qui-Gon wouldn't be doing that.
Wow.
So what do you think Qui-Gon Jinn's
Bad guys in the
alignment was?
canteen!
Chaotic good, maybe?
Wow.
Yeah, probably, because he wasn't really into the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very gray as far as Jedis go.
All right, story
Probably
mode.
chaotic. I think I can buy that.
Yeah. Oh,
just
we're not
start-
gonna
No,
read
I
the
mean-
scroll? Okay.
No one wants to watch that. Unless you do. Then leave it down in the comments below and we'll do it next time.
Thanks.
I'm sure people are okay with not reading.
Yeah,
We-
I'm pretty sure.
Hello there. Okay. So we're going to negotiate.
Is that what your ship's
Yep.
supposed to be?
Yeah, that's the ambassador cruiser ship.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
I know stuff.
episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1, and this is where they blow it up. Turn on the deflector, ship. Right?
Right. Yep.
I don't know.
Whoopsies.
Poison
All right,
gas.
here we go.
Wait, we gotta get the bits.
Oh, yeah.
Give me all your bits.
This isn't being saved. Why do we need the bits? Or the...
Oh wow. So while there's a
Oh,
war
no.
going on, Obi-Wan's over there getting his groove on.
Yeah.
Oops,
Hey.
sorry. Take
Dips,
that heart.
Dips, dips, dips. Yes. Oh, here we go. We gotta build a thing.
Somebody better get those hearts
Walk
before
up
they
to
go
friendly
away.
characters and press Y to control them. Okay. Get the bits. Oh, wha-bow.
Ow, you
Oh,
hit me.
All right.
All right.
My bad.
Grab the... They're not the... They're called bits? I thought they were
I don't
called...
know.
Studs.
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 Yeah.
Whatever, man. You knew what I was talking about.
All right, here we go.
Okay. How do we
I don't think we can swap.
deflect?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there you go. You just hold X, and you can kind of move. Maybe not really. Wow. Oh, they got me.
She's the
All
force
right.
on them.
Can you?
Yeah. You hit B to use the force.
But can you do it on the
Like
Yeah.
for
on the
shove
battle
and
droids?
stuff?
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. No,
Oh, don't kill him.
no! We need him.
Oh,
No, look at
whoops.
this.
See?
I got
Oh
no
my
arms.
goodness!
I look like the Black Knight from Monty Python.
Now I'm Obi-Wan.
How about you?
Look, he's using it with his face.
Hello there.
Hey, that's mine.
You gonna do it?
Oh, I did
Press
it.
B.
No, I did it.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go. I'm
Yes.
keeping him.
I love the Obi-Wan memes.
I think we're gonna call him.
Come back
Apple.
here! I'll bite your bloody
What?
legs off.
What do you do?
What?
You gotta operate that panel, dude.
What panel?
I don't
Which
know.
one?
What?
Don't tell me that
What's
panel
going
if
on?
you don't know what panel.
What's going on?
That's rude. I don't know. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go. You gotta build it.
Ah, okay, I got this. Stand back. I'm about to tap this with my face. Oh my gosh. I can't believe
Sorry.
they planned for something like that, right? Like, if he has no arms, let him use his face. That's hilarious. I can't even jump, man. What a bunch of garbage.
Well, why don't I just-
Oh no!
You can come back if I kill
Health.
you. If you come back. Oh,
Hey,
there
look, no, I got a health thing.
You
and
got
I-
hearts.
Hey!
and- Whoa!
Don't push me,
you
I'm
got
all
shoved.
stunned. Oh,
Ah.
now you're gonna wish you hadn't stunned me. I can't even wake up. Alright. Fine, I'll be Qui-Gon then.
Here we go.
Not that that's a bad thing. I like being
Woohoo!
Qui-Gon, Yo, what the heck, man?
Nice.
Oh no!
You just died in a
Slam
children's game.
dunk. Do you see that achievement I got though?
That
Oh, I
was
got a
pretty
power
awesome.
up. Look, I got a Mace Windu lightsaber.
Oh, nice.
That's a bomb.
Did you hear what I said?
No, what?
I said you just died. You just died in a children's game.
Hey, come on.
Don't worry, I'll go 0 deaths.
You said that last week.
No, I'm going 0 this time. My motto is
Burn.
everything that's not a player has to die. So like this little guy,
Come on.
dead.
Come on.
You're so evil.
Okay.
What was that?
And
Bye.
oh, I think that's just to get up to
That's
where
just
the
to get up where you
secret
already got
thing
to.
was. Yeah.
Oh, which I
Can
just
I fall in
got
this hole?
because
No.
I'm.
Oh,
Oh no!
whoops.
Super metal
Droids!
droids!
Master, destroy us!
The rolling droid. Although you got to admit, like a pack of those things rolling towards you
Yeah, I'd
would
be
have been pretty
intimidated.
terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, in the show, you were like, that's not that big of a deal, but
Jump!
for everybody other than
Evade!
Jedi, it'd be like, oh, we're screwed.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
Oh, I'm at 1 health. I can't die.
Get
No,
the heart.
I need the heart.
Get the heart.
No!
0 deaths, my
Right.
friend.
All right. Well, 0 deaths from here.
Stop! We need him. Why do you keep doing that? All right, can we? I think we can jump over this.
Yeah, that's the
Okay, cool. Come stand on this deal.
for the droid.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm so sorry. I tried to
Oh,
block.
did you see
Is
that?
that one of those sorry, not sorries?
I
No,
just
I
shoved.
am
I just
sorry.
shoved one of the droids into all of them.
Nice. I'm a team player. Come on. There you go. Oh, now we get in the transport down to the surface.
Wait, I didn't do it.
What? Hey. All right. Go go go.
Well, that could have gone.
Yeah, level 1.
There, I've got
you
my.
go.
I've got to pull up my Obi-Wan quote so I can say them correctly. Okay, there we go.
I love how hokey Lego Star Wars is.
So uncivilized. All right, nice.
Level
Yay!
complete.
Do we want to do another one, or is that it?
What? That's not it.
That's not it.
Yeah, we're doing another
Yeah,
one.
that was
You
a little
jump
quick.
in.
Oh, I don't need to jump in.
Oh, 57%
Well,
progress to
I mean,
true Jedi.
we just did kind of a speed through.
Yeah. True. Look at that stud.
Studs.
Give me all those delicious studs. And we got a mini kit piece. That's good. That's good.
Woohoo!
How many were there? Like 11?
10.
10? Oh,
I
there you
think
go.
there's 10 in every level. All right, continue.
Continue.
Wait, it said all episodes are now unlocked.
Whatever.
Let's go back to the cantina.
You want to play a different episode?
Well, I mean, we can just go choose. I think that's pretty cool. We don't have to. We can stick with this one.
I think
All right,
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, did you continue?
going down to the planet incognito, disguised as.
But this is the worst
Battle
part
droids.
of the trilogy, right? Where you meet Jar Jar?
Oh, I think it gets a lot worse from after where you meet him.
Go. Oh, you're Qui-Gon again.
You want to be Qui-Gon?
No, no,
You
no.
can be
You-
Qui-Gon.
you can-
Hiya!
I don't think you
Oh.
can switch.
I don't know
Okay.
what I'm doing. to
Let
these
us know
planets,
in the
but-
comments down below if you can switch characters. Like,
I don't think
without
you
a
can.
third
No, I
intermediary.
think
You gotta
you
have a
have to.
third.
Yeah.
Watch out! Oh, did you see that back?
I was
That
offering him the
tight.
control
Take
of
that,
it.
Gungan. Oh. Look at. Oh wait. Yeah, I can do like a cool backflip.
Woo! Look at that.
Hiya!
remember, everything has to die.
Hiya!
So when there's the whole pack of them, you can shove the front one back towards like all of them, and it'll kill
Oh
all
really?
of them.
That's cool. Watch out! It's gonna blow up.
I can't.
There it is. All right. Hey, get one of those hearts.
Do.
Oh, I almost got him.
Oh, what
I
the
was
heck?
gonna get him.
Cutscene. That was
Cutscene.
weird. That was abrupt.
You ruined my flow.
Let's just cut this part.
Can we just run him over? Roadkill.
Do it. Splat. Do it.
Why?
That
And
was,
look, it was moving at like 2 miles an hour. It wasn't gonna kill him.
He could just take 3 steps to the left and have been fine.
He could have laid down and been fine.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Right? It could have hit him. He would have fallen over and been totally fine.
Or just pushed and not fallen.
Alright, you guys are up.
All right, dibs on not being Jar Jar.
He called it.
What's this? Is this a thing? No.
Can we just leave him? Just leave him.
Oh,
What is that?
Jar Jar's face. I like
Kill
it.
it with fire. Oh, we use his face. We're walking on his face, and then that's fun.
Okay, grab that. Yeah.
So what do you need Jar Jar even
Oh,
for?
he jumps really high. Look.
Oh.
So.
Interesting.
I thought you
the
said
thing.
dips on not being Jar Jar.
Well, I knew what he did, so.
Fair.
Oh wait, hold up.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
gotta.
you gotta.
Yep.
I can't use the Force. Oh, you Jedi mind tricked me.
There we go.
There it is. Oh yeah. Oh no!
Nice.
What happened? I thought I double jumped.
You failed, dude.
What the?
There you go.
There we go. Gimme. Here we go. Oh, is that a Boba Fett?
yeah,
you have to come
that's
back
in,
here
like,
and
free play.
Sure.
Ah!
An ambush! Oh, Jar Jar's now useless.
Can you not fight?
No, he can't fight.
What? Really?
Yeah, he's just for jumping, I guess.
He can't punch at all?
No. Look,
Okay,
I'm pressing
up.
X, and he's not doing anything.
Oh,
He's
that's
just for
dumb.
jumping.
Can you even get up there?
He can't even
Can you,
do
like, jump-
that.
No, you can't use me as
You gotta
leverage
time your
either.
jumps right. There you go.
There you go.
Ah, nice one,
Nicely
nice
done.
one. All right. I'll just let you go first so I don't hit you. Nice. What is this part? I thought they just swam down into a lake.
I don't know.
Grab
Maybe
that.
this
Yeah,
is
mini
the
kit.
director's cut. Extended
Sure,
version.
sure.
They just had to make it more interesting.
Hey man, it's like we said, more Star Wars is always better, right? Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh.
That was cool. Using the Force on these guys is awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to push him.
Oh, careful, Dancor. You only have one heart left.
I tried to grab that one.
Nope, that one was mine.
Oh. See? Happens to the best of us.
Whoa! Grab the studs!
What is this thing over here? Oh, power up!
Oh, you got a Mace Windu Saber. Nice.
I don't remember these in the original
Vapan
game.
style. Let's do this.
I don't remember the power-ups in the original game. On the PS2, when I played like episode 1 to 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice. Look at that, man. We're getting all the mini kit pieces. We're not even trying.
I still have my PS2 disc of this game.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, don't go down
dude.
there. It's a trap.
Oh wow. It has like the
Thanks,
circle
Akbar.
scratches on it.
Oh, the what now?
The circle scratches on
Oh.
the disc. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Here, wait. Come back over here, Dancor. There we
Nice.
go. Okay.
Yeah, you're the only one that can make it up
Is that
there.
a secret area or is that where
No,
you're
I
supposed
think
to
this
go?
is the way you have to go.
Yeah, because he jumps
'Cause
on
then
that
he-
and it should take you down.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then we get the...
What? Who was saying what though? Now?
I don't know.
Who in the what?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love the jump
was
slash.
close.
That's fun. Dang it. Hey, yeah, that's right. Die, sucker. Hiya! Hiya! Alright, there's studs over here. We can't really go back. Oh, we kind of can, okay. Whoa. Oh, they probably just keep coming.
So
Yeah, I
did
think
they
we gotta-
how did Qui-Gon Jinn die to Darth Maul like an apprentice?
That is a great question. It's because of Darth Maul's fighting style.
Uh-huh.
I forget which fighting style it is, but it's all the acrobatics and all of the.
Wow.
It takes a lot of stamina. That's what Yoda uses too. And Qui-Gon was, from what I know, he was just kind of too old and out of practice to keep up with it. Qui-Gon Jinn actually was like one of the best lightsaber duelists to come out of the academy, but no one was prepared to fight a Dark Jedi or to fight a Sith.
Well, and another thing that's kind of interesting from the books is Darth Maul wasn't ever really intended to be a Sith apprentice. It was only after Darth Sidious ended up killing Darth Plagueis that he's like, hey, well, I need somebody, so we might as well elevate you.
And
He
you could
was just a myrmidon.
And
until then.
especially after he came back in the Clone Wars and then in Rebels, you could
Oh
tell.
my gosh, that was so cool.
Actually, it was really cool. Instead of being a Sith, you could tell he was so much more just an assassin, kind of like
Yeah.
Ventress.
Exactly.
I think that's why. From what I've seen, I think it was just no one was prepared to fight a Sith.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
very much.
another one.
Well, there you go, guys.
Are we good? think we're good.
I think we're good.
All right, thanks for checking it out.
Yep, that'll be it for this episode. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like. And if you want to see the rest of the episodes, make sure you subscribe not only to the Hometown Heroes community channel, but to all of the Hometown Heroes. So we'll see you next time.
See you guys.